The secret beneath the water. In the still waters of the Mobile River lies a ghost from America's darkest past, a sunken ship, once denied, doubted, and deliberately hidden. The Clotilda, the last known slave ship to bring captured Africans to American soil. More than 50 years after the slave trade was outlawed, but this is not just the story of a ship, it's the story of survival, of memory, and of a legacy still alive today. The law was clear, but so was greed. In 1808, the United States banned the transatlantic slave trade. No more ships, no more African captives. But slavery itself, that was still legal. In the Deep South, where cotton was king, demand for enslaved labor only grew. Some men were willing to risk everything, even breaking federal law, to keep that system alive. One of them was Timothy Mayer, a wealthy businessman in Mobile, Alabama. In 1860, he made a bet that he could smuggle Africans into the country and no one would ever catch him. But this is not just the story of a ship, it's the story of survival, of memory, and of a legacy still alive today. The Clotilda sets sail. He hired a sea captain named William Foster. Together, they secured a ship, a small schooner named the Clotilda. Their destination, Ouida, in the Kingdom of Dahomey, modern-day Benin. There they purchased 110 people, men, women, children, captured in war, torn from their villages, chained below deck, jammed together in darkness. For 45 days across the Atlantic Ocean, a floating prison, carrying human lives into the unknown. Arrival in Alabama and the cover-up. In the summer of 1860, the Clotilda reached Alabama. At night, in silence, the captives were brought ashore by rowboat. Then, to erase the crime, the ship was set on fire and sunk in the Mobile River. The people were divided, given to Mayer and his allies, forced into slavery on American land. Long after slavery's importation was declared illegal, investigators came, but there was no evidence, no one was punished, and the Clotilda became a buried secret. Freedom, but no way home. In 1865, the Civil War ended, and the Clotilda survivors were finally freed. But they had no land, no money, and no way to return to Africa. So they did something extraordinary. They stayed, and they built something beautiful, a place of their own. They called it Africatown. There, they spoke their native languages, practiced their customs, and passed down their story, generation after generation. They never forgot. The world finally listened. For decades, their descendants told the world what had happened, that their ancestors were brought here on a ship called the Clotilda. But many outsiders didn't believe them. There's no proof, they said, until 2019, divers searching the Mobile River discovered a wreck, intact, scarred by fire, buried for over 150 years. The Clotilda was real, and so were the voices that kept its memory alive. Legacy in Africatown. Today, Africatown still stands, not as a relic, but as a living, breathing community. Descendants of the Clotilda survivors are artists, teachers, historians. They are preserving a legacy born of pain, but shaped by pride. They're fighting for their land, for their story, for their truth. This is not just Black history. This is American history. In the silence of the river, the wreck of the Clotilda still rests. But above the water, the voices are rising. Remember their names, remember their journey, and remember the story they refused to bury. If this story moved you, share it, subscribe, because Black history isn't just about what happened, it's about what we choose to carry forward.